Welcome everybody to Keeping It Real. I'm your co-host, Fred Cilbrith. I'm here with Premivera and Margaret. They're part of the Kennedy Center. Welcome, you guys.
Thanks, Freddie. Good to be here.
Thanks, Freddie.
So, what do you guys actually do?
Well, glad you asked. I am a travel trainer at the Kennedy Center, and basically what we do in a nutshell is we help people become more independent utilizing public transportation. Now, the best thing about what I do is I can connect people to where they need to go, what they need to do, and they can lead more fulfilling lives through accessing public transportation.
Right.
The only catch is through our services, you have to have some sort of disability. So
that seems like a good deal.
So, I mean, I can get into it further. Why don't we introduce Margaret and what she does?
Sure.
Margaret?
My name is Margaret Mixon, and I'm the Regional Mobility Manager for Southwest Connecticut. So what that means is I have a position where I'm funded with federal and state dollars to connect people with disabilities and seniors with whatever transportation options are available in their communities. And I focus on Southwest Connecticut, so that's Milford down to Greenwich and up in the valley a bit. So I go out in the community and I provide information on public bus, train, there are taxi programs, discount programs for people with disabilities. I go out and just kind of let people know what's out there for them. And I try and match what they need with what transportation option is going to work best for them.
Okay.
And it's a little bit different. She's giving information. I'm training people.
Right.
So I'm out there one-on-one. I direct people. I make sure that they understand the skills. Not only that, they understand how to be safe, how to be more comfortable. Because a lot of times, somebody can get on a bus, but they're scared to. They're afraid. They're
because sometimes they may not know where the bus leads or the route it takes or how to get to and from places.
Right. And that's a big part of it, is understanding, you don't need to be fearful. If you need a travel trainer and you have a disability, you can call us and we'll take you through the ropes. And it's basically a course, you know, because you went through it.
Yes, I did.
And, we'll show you all the bus skills. We'll show you the route. We'll show you the safest route to take. And, we'll help you understand the public bus system or train in your area. So it's a good service.
It's a free service, and it's statewide.
Yes.
So we have trainers in different parts of the state.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So Freddie, based on your experiences, what did you think of the program?
I thought it was great. I mean, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to do the TV show.
That's right. That's right. And
that's a great thing.
I learned something recently. It's all about, I don't care who you are, it's all about freedom. It's giving that individual the freedom to do what they need to do for themselves.
I mean, you're talking to a guy who was stuck in the house,
right?
Not be able to do much, and then through getting connected with different companies and whatnot, I was able to get to you and know you personally, and we developed a relationship, and you showed me the bus and all that. So after taking the bus and learning the routes and everything, it's the biggest confidence booster, at least for me, to be able to say, I can do this and not be scared.
Right. And my goal is I want you out of the house. That's the main thing. But I also... I don't want you to be in harm's way. So you had to overcome some obstacles to be able to take the bus, didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, I had to learn what bus goes where, and like the Milford buses, they run until every hour, but the West Shore bus, the main bus that I took from Milford to go anywhere, stops at 6. And I can tell you from experience, coming back from Housatonic Community College, I got stuck at the mall one time because I missed the last bus.
Yeah.
And that was a pain.
Yeah.
But I originally called a friend of mine, and he came and picked me up. So for that day, I was able to get home all right.
Oh, good.
So
good. So you got stranded at the mall at what time?
Like 4
in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And you couldn't get home?
No, because I waited there for 2 hours. Then I had to go to the bathroom. Then went to the bathroom, and missed the last bus. I'm like, oh boy.
What day was that? Was it a weekday?
It was a Tuesday actually. When we did the show beforehand.
Okay. Well, also too, you can always call the Kennedy Center if you need, more information, and something doesn't, if you get stuck somewhere, stranded somewhere. But also too, in your area, we also talked about the train as another option to getting back and forth to downtown Bridgeport.
Right.
And that could work too.
And that's another good point that that mobility managers help with too. I want to learn about what kind of gaps in service you're facing. So if you needed like a bus, past 6 o'clock in Milford, that's the kind of thing that you can tell a mobility manager like myself. Because what I do is I identify barriers that people are facing, whether it be the bus or train doesn't run at the times I need it, or maybe you need to go to a certain place, the bus doesn't quite go there. Right. That's the kind of thing, information that I collect so that I can go back to the bus company and say, look, I'm getting a lot of people, living in this particular part of Bridgeport that needs to get to, say, Stratford, for a job, or to get to a grocery store or something like that, and try and fill those gaps in service that are out there now.
Yeah, Margaret, it's a great point. She's a huge advocate, and I am too, we work very closely with people at the bus companies. I work in Fairfield County, so it's Bridgeport, Norwalk, and CT Transit in Stamford. So we know the players in the bus companies, and if there's a problem, we go to them. And that's why it's good for us to be out there in the community working with people, because if we see something, we're going to tell the bus company, oh, this is a problem, can we work on this? And usually we find a solution that helps more people.
Yeah, like we're almost like the eyes and ears of riders, for seniors and people with disabilities, and we're working on veterans too. But we're kind of trying to be that voice for riders who have problems with whatever service they have. It can be, for instance, I not only work with buses and trains and have information on discount programs for those services, but we also administer a taxi voucher program that offers a discount for people with disabilities in the Bridgeport, Stratford, Trumbull, and beyond region. But if a person has a problem with taxi service, they can call me, and I'm in touch with them, and we can kind of try and work it out and make that service a better service for you, so you will take it and have more access to your community.
That's always a good thing.
Yeah, and talking about, we know that we have 4 seasons here, and that might be an obstacle for you, getting into the fall and the winter and stuff. Is that going to affect you getting out there and stuff?
I mean, as far as the snow, yeah.
It could. Because
you've been on my street.
Yeah.
Doing like the travel training and whatnot. You know that hill that I got to take to walk down. So to walk up that hill in snow, it's going to be a problem.
Right. In that case, you could always, get a ride, somebody to drop you off. If your parents or family member is going to work, they can drop you off at the bus stop. And it's not this easy. This is other than it being 90 degrees and humid out today.
Yeah, it's very humid out today.
Did you take the bus here today?
Yeah, I took the 5 all the way down here, and then walked around school, and the weather today is totally brutal. Unlike
anything we had this summer, and it's the summer's almost over,
right?
Or it is over. So talk about Freddie. You took 2 buses to get here, correct?
Well, today I took 1, but usually I take 2. It's the West Shore, the Coastal Link, the West Shore and the Coastal Link.
Okay, so West Shore being in Milford, and then you take that to the Green, and then you transfer, or Kmart, and then you transfer to the Coastal Link,
right,
to come down here. And so you took 1 bus today. Where did you pick that up?
I picked it up at David's house. because they lived in downtown Bridgeport.
Okay, you
so I
were
picked
there.
it up from there and then went to
Okay.
school. Saw a couple of my friends and then came here.
You go to school too?
Yep.
That's awesome. That's great. Okay. Well, you know, you can also, if you need to go to more places and stuff and you don't know how, you know, just ask us, you know? So.
Yep.
And the disability, it's the whole range of disabilities, and Mark can talk about this, but some people use mobility devices and need help, and that's what definitely you specialize in, is how people can get on and off the bus or the train if they have a mobility device. But it can be the range, the disability doesn't matter. It can be any type of disability.
Yeah, I mean, basically, what I'm is an extension of a person's rights to advocate for themselves. So if somebody's in a wheelchair, they have a mobility device that they need help with, then it's up to me to teach them how to advocate for themselves and do it in the right way, in the proper way. If somebody's not following, bus driver or train conductor is not following protocol, then we'll deal with it. We'll call the Metro North or the bus company to get them to fix it. So, you know, it's a good program. I like doing it. We just got back from a conference in Portland, Oregon.
You were in Oregon, right?
Portland, Oregon, for a conference for people that do what I do. Now, there's 3 different groups of people that do what we do. It's either teachers, human services professionals like us, or transit providers. So it's all 3. So it was interesting learning a lot from people that get it. You know, we talk about travel training and people are like, what's that? But these people at this conference, they get it, they understand, and they had some pretty unique personalities.
Well, that's always good. It keeps it interesting for you.
Oh, it was interesting, yeah.
Yeah, this
One
is
big
not a
party
boring
for
job.
you guys.
Yeah, it is a party, but we want to keep people safe too. You know, it is wonderful to see people get out and be independent and get to the places they need to get to. But you know, it's I can't talk about it. My thrill is seeing people do it. You know, right. I can talk about how great it is and stuff, but unless the person is motivated to get out there and become part of society, you know. If you're sitting at home, are you making a difference in your life, you know?
Well, it's like I said, you're talking to a guy who was stuck in the house all the time, didn't really know how to get out, and like I said at the beginning of the show, if it wasn't for you and David King offering me the co-host opportunity and you teaching me the bus route, I wouldn't be here today sitting doing a show.
Right. Yeah, David's like, I'm busy hosting. I don't have time to pick you up or tell you the bus routes. You know?
He was like, can you do the show? Can you get around? And I said, well, let me call Mark and find out.
I met David at the Bluefish game. I'm like, I don't know who you are, but I know you. And I told him, I was like, I forget your name, but I know Freddie, and he was working at, he was being an usher at the game.
Yeah.
And he was all serious and stuff, and he didn't want to, I think he was too busy to stop and talk to me.
Oh yeah.
But I just wanted to say hello, and he kept saying, sorry, hang on, hang on, because he has to do an important
He's like
job
that all
there.
The time.
He has to do an important job. He has to check people's tickets for going up to the VIP boxes. Yeah. So I was like, no, that's okay. Well, but I know who you are, and I met Freddie, and I hear you're hosting a show, so it was cool. Yeah.
I mean, this has really been, like, for me, a personal accomplishment, because not only am I able to get around and go to and from Milford and go to and from school, but I'm also able to break that social barrier that I've been having to, like, up for 10 years.
Yeah, I understand. You want to do things that are your age appropriate, Yeah. Where your people, how old are you?
27.
27. Your people your age are getting out. They're getting jobs. They're they're partying on the weekends. They're playing in softball leagues. They're going out and they're exploring. What's in Connecticut. What opportunities. The nature, getting out.
I mean,
fishing, stuff like that. Boating. you know?
I mean, a couple weeks ago, I got an interview at Carrabba's.
Oh, nice.
And they never called me back, but I went out there and I actually did the interview. And I was very proud of myself for knowing the bus route, how to get to the mall and how to get back and what time to do it at and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is a lifeline for people.
Exactly.
To help them to get out and not be so isolated in their homes. And that's for seniors and people with disabilities.
Right.
Really across the country, not just here. It's definitely an issue. But kind of one of my roles is almost to be a marketing person for Mark and what he does, because a lot of people don't even know that this service exists.
Right.
You know, we get calls all the time, you know, for people who need information about transportation. A lot of people don't even understand that there is a free service to help, you know, learn the bus and train, or to make taxi services more affordable. And a lot of people, they are aware of the services, and still the services just don't meet their needs. And that's kind of where Mark and I come in, you know, where you can call, and if we can't find a service that meets your needs, we will certainly go to the people, the policymakers and decision makers, and let them know, hey, this is a problem. You know, what can we do to find a solution? That's really what Mark and I focus on.
That's great.
Yeah, it's tough in Milford, where Freddie lives. Half of Milford doesn't have bus service.
Right.
So he was lucky enough to connect to a bus. And it's not, you know, it's not like every 20, 30 minutes. So you have to know.
It's every hour.
It's every hour. So you have to know when that bus comes.
But that's why you're critical, because we have, in Connecticut, we have so many disparate transit districts, and a lot of people do have to connect between systems. Milford to Greater Bridgeport down to Norwalk, and down to Stamford.
They all take different coins.
Yeah.
I mean, different fares.
Different fare structures, yeah.
I mean, last week, you know, I'm taking the bus to and from school, and that's about $2.75, depending on if you're coming from Milford to here. But last week I signed up for the token thing at school.
Okay.
So that could help me with, as far as like getting back and forth. So I don't have to take money. I can just get tokens.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So they have a token machine.
Right.
So do you get the discount? Do you have did you get the discount card?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. I think I mailed that for you. You know, the for the half fare.
Yeah, that's important.
So anybody who has a disability gets half fare on the bus or train.
Or senior.
Or 65. Senior. Right.
Yep. You can use your Medicare card.
Yep, Medicare card. Yep, works too. I don't like, just for the fact that a lot of professionals say they don't like people carrying their Medicare card because of identity theft.
Right.
So we have to be cautious about that. If you ever lose it. So they can also, if they have Medicare, they can use that, but they can also apply for a reduced fare ID card through Connecticut Transit.
I mean, you were telling me earlier, showing me one day about the train, how you could take the West Shore bus to the train station and then go on the train, and how your reduced fare comes out to be like $2.50 for a train ticket.
Round trip, or?
I think it was round trip.
Round trip, yeah. And that's almost the same as the bus round trip, right?
For reduced fare, it costs $2 for an all-day bus pass.
All-day bus pass, yeah.
You know, I was lucky enough today I had enough money to get a transfer, and I got on the bus, and someone that knew that I was looking for the card and whatnot was like, she was like, let me see your transfer. What time does it expire? I said 8:59, and she gave me a 7-day pass. Now that's good for tomorrow, because that means I can go to school backwards and forth without having to pay money, because I was lucky enough that she
that was nice.
Gave me that. So
somebody you knew?
Somebody that met me on the bus before, and I explained that I didn't have the Medicare card and all that. She was like, here, use the pass, because I'm going out of town anyway. And I was like, hey.
I wish everybody was that nice.
Thanks.
So she gave you a 7-day pass. Was it activated yet? It had 1 day.
It was activated.
It had 1 day left on it?
No, it was activated Monday.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
So it has like 5 days left.
Which is good, because that pays for school or wherever else I want to go for the week.
Wow, don't let the bus company know that.
Just between us three.
Yeah. So that's great, Fred. That's good. Yeah, The train can get you there a lot quicker too. If you know the train schedule, instead of taking the bus from Milford to Bridgeport, if you know the train schedule and you hop on the train, that's probably what? It's Bridgeport, Stratford, Milford, Stratford, then Bridgeport. So that's only 10-minute ride probably.
Yeah, it's not
compared
bad at all.
to 30 minutes on the bus.
Yep.
Or 20 minutes.
Yep.
I mean, my next plan is to actually learn the train.
Right.
I know the bus to and from where I want to go, but.
And we're going to set that up and do that together, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And for people who aren't able to ride the regular bus, there's what's called Paratransit, which is door-to-door service. Greater Bridgeport runs a door-to-door service. Norwalk does. Milford does. It's more expensive than the regular bus, and the way it works is you have to call ahead. So at least a day ahead, you schedule your ride.
Do you know, I'm curious about the eligibility process.
Right.
Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, definitely. What happens is if you're interested in door-to-door service, you are not, for whatever reason, due to a disability, you can't ride the fixed route regular bus. What you do is you call the bus company, you set up an interview, and they will provide transportation to the interview. So I don't want people to get turned off by the interview, because they will definitely work with you on that.
Oh, great.
Yeah. But yeah, and once you go through your interview, what you're going to do is the rider talks about their disability,
right.
The reasons why they can't, ride the regular bus. And that can be, I just had a surgery on my leg,
Right.
it's a temporary thing, I'll be better in 6 months. There are different levels of paratransit service that people sign up for. And once they're registered, it usually takes a very short time, depending on how busy they are. But and then once you're registered, then you just call a day ahead, and they come to your home or wherever you want to be picked up. They have a certain service area. They follow generally the bus routes that are already in place. So pretty much all of Bridgeport is served. Parts of Monroe, parts of Stratford, and just depending on the district where the bus routes are. But you call a day ahead, and then you can go. The good thing about that type of service is it's not limited to just medical appointments. You can go to the beach, you can go, to your friend's house, you can go to work, whatever you need to do. It's a very flexible service that people seem to really, get a lot of use out of.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely
did you
great.
mention how much the paratransit fare is?
For Greater Bridgeport Transit, it's $3.50 per ride.
Per ride.
So
okay.
if you're going to make, a trip somewhere and then come back, it's going to be $7.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
it's different for different transit districts. The others, for the most part, I think in the Valley and in Norwalk, it's $3 per ride.
I should know this, but about paratransit, can they also use, like, if they get use the fixed route service, can they also apply for the paratransit
Yep,
service?
there are certain instances where they will allow. Sometimes people can ride the regular bus, but for whatever reason, like I say, they need to use that paratransit service.
Right.
That's what really they go over in the interview process.
Okay.
And they make that determination of what the most appropriate level of service will be for the person.
Okay, great.
That's good.
Yep.
All right.
Sounds a great thing.
Yeah. All right. Anything else, Fred?
Oh, not really.
All right, great.
Well, thanks for having us.
You're welcome. And guys, this is Keeping It Real with starring David King. I'm your host, Fred Cilbrith. You couldn't make it today, but hopefully you can make it next week. Have a nice day.